Now, we talk about now the dermis. Take a look at the dermis. So the dermis is what we gave you when you're in first year as an example of dense, irregular connective tissue. So you can see how thick these collagen fibers are, and they are running in all different directions. No uniformity in the arrangement. So that's the dermis. This dermis, in addition to having the collagen fiber, and by the way, the dermis also, as you know, is very elastic. So the dermis also contains elastic fibers, some reticular fibers and so on. So not just collagen fibers are there. But as you can see, the dermis also has a number of little blood vessels, some nerves, and a wide variety of cells. And you know that one of the popular cells in the dermis would have to be the what? Fibroblast, since we find collagen there. But since the skin represents a sort of defense, a mechanical defense against invading pathogen, not only because of the structure that it possesses, but also some cells that are located there. So the dermis also has a wide variety of wandering white blood cells. So the dermis will have a variety of wandering white blood cells. We have some macrophages there, but a number of white blood cells, plasma cells, different kinds of lymphocytes and so on. Now pay attention to the fact that the deeper aspects of the dermis also possess, look what the dermis also has. The dermis also have some things looking like they could be glands. I see some glands here. These are actually sweat glands. So the dermis possesses sweat glands. And if it is hairy skin, you can also find sebaceous glands. But you're not going to find any in thick skin. In skin of palm or sole of the feet, you won't find any sebaceous, only sweat. Also, especially in the skin of the palm, you could encounter a number of specialized nerve endings. This is one of them here. Where is it? Specialized nerve ending. That's where I saw something. So we find the Pineal corpuscles. I thought I saw all good. So we find these sort of cut onion looking structures. These are the Pineal corpuscles, lamellated in appearance. And these are specialized for pressure receptions. So there are several kinds of nerve endings. Some of them are encapsulated. This is one of them. So the Pineal corpuscles are encapsulated one, specialized for pressure, food touch. And of course, you remember that these Pineal corpuscles can be found in other places, through the joint cavities, in certain the walls of certain organs, the bladder, and so on, in the vagina, this and that. So this is a high power of the sweat ducts. These are sweat glands there. Another example of sweat gland right there. See, these are the ducts of the sweat gland. In the depth of the dermis, you find the secretory part of the sweat gland, but the darker stained portion represent the ducts. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you can actually see parts of the ducts traversing. Look at that. See a duct going up there, traversing the dermis and going all the way through the epidermis. You can actually see these little luminal structures sometimes. Look at that. These are actually sections of the sweat ducts. Look at that. All of these circles represent portions of the sweat duct going through the keratinized layer. See that? Sweat duct. Look at that, guys. Sweat ducts going through the keratinized layer. That's what you can put a point on. in addition to the Pacinian corpuscles, I want you to observe that, especially in thick skin, look what is happening. Sometimes you see the dermis evaginated into the epithelium like that. Evaginated into the epithelium. Look at that. This is actually evagination of the dermis into the epithelium. What we call that a dermal papillae. And these dermal papillae are important to provide anchorage for the epithelium, the epidermis. Now, within these dermal papillae, we sometimes see another specialized nerve ending that's called the mycinous corpuscle. Mycinous. And these now are for two-point touch. That's a mycinous corpuscle there. By the way, it has a spiral appearance, so when you cut it, it comes out looking very funny, but that's the mycinous located in the dermal papillae. It's for two-point touch. Two-point, discriminatory touch. You know about those? No? Alright, next semester we'll teach you something about that. Alright, so that's two-point touch, mycinous. And then now, there are some other specialized nerve endings that are not encapsulated and therefore not well defined that are encountered in the skin. There's one called Ruffini's ending, Ruffini, R-U-F-F-I-N-I. That is a mechanoreceptor. Mechanoreceptor. Alright. Now guys, I'm moving down now, beyond, deep to the dermis, and I've observed a lot of fat. Right. I'm observing some fat. This is the subcutaneous layer. Subcutaneous layer. Look at that. So in some well-nourished individuals, we find a lot of fat in the subcutaneous layer. Well-nourished. People like Brian who, you know, not so well nourished, you don't find as much. Alright? Now this, guys, look on that. That's a typical sweat gland. Look on it. Deep in the dermis. And the duct now leaves the gland and traverses the epidermis. Well, that's a good gland there. Now, how would you classify the sweat gland according to the structure that it possesses? Is it a compound tubular alveolar gland? What is it? It's a simple coiled tubular gland. So sweat glands are simple coiled tubular glands. What does that mean? Well, first of all, if it's a tubular, it means that you find lumen when you look at it. A lot of holes. That's what tubular means. Simple means that the ducts do not branch. And coil means coil. Right. So it comes down from the surface and coils up at the bottom. Alright. Now these sweat glands are usually lined by a stratified cuboidal epithelium. Stratified cuboidal epithelium. The other question is, how would you classify these sweat glands according now to the mode of secretion? How does the gland elaborate its secretion? Are the cells destroyed through the process? Are the apical parts of the cells shed? Or is the thing exocytotically released with no damage to the membrane? C, right? Yeah. Good. So generally, generally, most of the sweat glands of the body are neurocrine sweat glands / ecrine. So ecrine and neurocrine is the same thing. So most of them are that, and they release their secretory material exocytotically with no damage to the cell membrane at all. So the cell is perfect at the end of the day. Very good. What is that now?